Good morning, everybody. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Hello, everybody. My name is Joshua Bleasy. I am the Unknown Prophet. I do daily tarot readings Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's right, guys. I'm here to help you find the best possible path for you. I'm a very blunt, in-your-face kind of tarot reader. There's no sugarcoating here. I will kick your spiritual ass. I will tell you what you need to know, not what you want to know. I will help you find the best possible path for you and your journey. So come on in, press that exclamation point, join, give me a like, give me a follow, give me a subscribe, whatever you feel like you want to do for me. I greatly appreciate any and all things that you've done. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we have reached 500 followers! Hoo-hoo! Well, guys, we are on our way to 1K. Let me light my candle here. And we are got the cards all ready to rock and roll. And, guys, I just had a fabulous day yesterday. Had a very, very rushed start. But we reached our goal yesterday of reaching a 500 goal. As you can see now, right up there on top there, we are on our road to 1K. We are 50% away. We've got 501 followers so far. So, on February 9th, we will be having our 6-hour stream. So that means I will be here for 6 hours that day. So that will be the Friday, the February 9th. I am looking for guests who might want to be a part of that stream. It will be a celebration of my 500 followers. So guys, just so you know, we're going to be planning a 500 followers celebration coming up soon. So look for my flyer somewhere in the future here, probably within the next week. And you guys will be able to know. But I'm going to get a couple people maybe to come on my show and be a part of it for a little bit. I really wanted to, ask some people there. So we'll see what we can get for there. But I'm here to help you guys find the best possible path for you today and your journey. So welcome on in. Welcome on in. To all those who are in the chat, welcome on in and bring on in there. I'll tell you, when I first started doing tarot readings, because there were times I was bored and didn't have anything to do, but about 30 years ago, my life did change for the better. I found a wonderful spiritual group called the Standing Stones. They were the best family I ever had. Things happened in my life where I had to walk and on my own for a while, and that's what I am doing now. I'm going to be starting my own group somewhere in the future, but they are the ones who taught me how to be the person I am. They gave me all the tools that I need. They gave me everything, and I can never be more appreciative to them ever for anything they've ever done to me. I can never say thank you enough to those people who are out there like Morgan and Griffin and Jewel. Just want you to know you are my teachers, and I take your lessons to heart. And I honor you in every single way that I can now. I know I had a bit of a, I have emotions and feelings just like anybody else. And you know what? Sometimes they get a little bit excited. So, you know what? But I'm ready to, just move forward and move on with everything else I've got going on here. And creating my deck here. I am still losing traction on the old getting people to sign up for these guys. So if you guys are interested in helping me out or would like a signed copy of my 5 Tarot, I am doing a Kickstarter campaign. You'll see the link in the above pinned post. Click that link, and if you would like to donate to that to just help me out, whatever you can afford to do, guys. I don't want you to spend money you don't have. I don't want money you don't want to be able to get. But if you want to buy one of these exclusive decks that are signed, and then you have a chance to win one of my art cards as well. So just want you to know that's what we have. We have till March 11th to make that goal happen, guys. I either get that goal or I lose it all. So we'll see what happens. And we will be restarting it all over again. Maybe I'm revamping and having some people help me make it look like a better campaign. I might have to consider doing a little bit of advertisement or something like that. So we'll see how it goes. You know, it's been an exciting time for me. I know when I originally started out, you know, doing it on stream, my goal to begin with was first goal, reach affiliate. Got affiliate. Number two, I wanted to reach 500 followers. Goal achieved. I wanted to have a good community who would come here and be able to talk and be able to have someone where we could share stories and talk about everything, do some readings for people, stuff like that. Goal achieved. Now we are on my road to the last and final goal I had for this stream, which is 1K followers. I will consider myself a success on Twitch if I can reach 1,000 followers. So you guys can help me out by shouting me out to your friends, telling them about the stream, encouraging them to come on in and check my stream out. So if all of you guys can do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. These readings are 100% completely free. If you guys decide to donate anything to me, I am trying to use that money to go into my campaign for the Kickstarter. So just letting you know that we have reached 500 followers and we are going to be getting that 6-hour stream on February 9th. So we will get into the future and moving forward today. You know, goals have always been a big part of who I am. Ever since I was a little boy, I was told there was only so much that I could do in this world. I was told by teachers constantly that I would never amount to anything, that I would always be someone who would never be recognized for doing anything really more important than maybe a fast food job or something like that. I did not have the best mind. I was growing up with a learning disability, which makes me learn about 3 times slower than everybody else. I learned everything I could learn in high school. I graduated high school, but I did kind of graduate with about a 10th grade educational level, even though I graduated at 12th grade. My mind kind of only took in about 10th grades of those things. Yes, I learned a bunch of things along the way, but, you know, it was a hard-fought fight growing up. You know, I don't think I've really talked a whole lot about my time in my youth and stuff like that. We will get a little bit to some of those stories somewhere down the road, guys. You know, I had a really great teacher whose name was Morgan, who taught me all about sharing the stories and then making sure that what I'm teaching people or telling people is the truth, you know, and making sure that I'm honest and open about as much as I can be about. The part of my journey was that I wanted to become a person who could embrace the freedom that he had in his life. I finally found that within myself, and a couple of things had to happen for that freedom to come into fruition. They weren't always the most pleasant things in the world, I'll let you know there, you know. I would say I had my final and last life crisis moment about 5 years ago. And, you know, about a year and a half ago, I think I got a little bit more passionate about what I was doing and stuff like that. So, you know, I've been growing and growing ever since. So I want to say thank you to everyone out there who's ever shown me support. Agent Zero, Games with Snakes, Jessa, Mercy, High Class Hippie, Your Best Tansy, Ochi Solo, The Advisor, the Small Motive Skills. You know, there were a couple of people out there who helped me get to where I am today. And I can't say thank you enough to all of those people. You know, I was a beginning streamer at one point too, and I made some mistakes along the way as well. And you know, that those are some things that, you know, that we kind of always kind of come in and learn and grow and become better people. I don't have the most exciting stream in the world. I have a tarot reading stream. So I know I'm not going to be as, you know, exciting as some of those people playing the video games and stuff like that. Oh, side note, last night I thought I lost this. This morning I found it in the bathroom, but I was like, oh great, another pentacle falls off of my neck again. Now, mundane issues are mundane issues. Not every time you lose something that's precious to you is because the gods are upset with you. Sometimes just things happen. I didn't tie a knot not tight enough, okay? So, you know, and we all walk a journey of solitary. we all walk within our own selves. We don't share this body with anybody else but us, you know. I don't if you have a twin, it's not the same body. It still might be a similar body, but it's not the same body. You know, everyone is different and unique in their own and different way. No one can get into the mind of anybody to really see what we're all about. And if you really got a chance to see it in all of us, I bet you would see a lot more beauty than ugly. But I can't say the ugly isn't out there, guys, because it is. Breakfast got stuck in my mouth. Now, I try to eat a lot more healthier nowadays and stuff like that. But, you know, part of the thing that I come here to do is not only do I want to try to help people find their paths, I am walking my own path as well. You know, I started my journey a long time ago when I was 8 years old. I tell that story a lot. I don't always tell after what happened after that dream. So, you know, I grew up in a small town called Corcoran, Minnesota. I lived in a trailer park with my mom. I was bullied by a lot of the people in that trailer park. I did have a friend who I thought was my friend at the time, and then I did have a couple of people who were my true friends. So I had a bully who I thought I wanted to be my friend because I thought better to make my bully my friend than to live there in constant fear. So I just kind of said, you know what, I'm just going to become this guy's friend and see what happens. Well, we became friends. Now, he did abuse his friendship with me very many times, but he also helped me explore a couple of things within myself that I needed to explore as well. You know, I was a child who was very, very introverted. It might not be easy for you guys to really see that now, but I was a very shy, introverted kid who didn't know how to socialize a lot. A really, really a lot. I didn't know how to make friends. I'm still working on learning how to make friends sometimes because you know what? My energies and personalities are a lot to take in sometimes. And sometimes I'm a little too much for people, and I can understand that. You know? But that's not the point. We are here to find a journey that is right for us. That we can take this path in our own two hands and find the best possible path going forward. All we want to do is try to live the happiest, best life we can. I really need to get like a lozenge or something in there every once in a while. I've been having a lot more growly voice lately, but I think that's kind of become a little bit more with my age, is getting in there getting that old man voice now. But I still have my funny voices. So, you know, we you know, and during that time in that place, that's where I found my destiny. That's where I found a dream that could make me believe in something better. And that made me overcome a lot of obstacles. Coming of age, going through all the things you have to go through when you're a child. I spent a lot of time in the forest, playing in the forest, looking in the forest, just sitting and listening to all the nature had to give you. That was my safe spot. That forest was my place to go when I needed to get away from everybody and everything. You know, and I spent a lot of time in that forest as a kid. You know, I didn't know that I was already preparing myself for the role I would have someday, even back then. Back then, I look back at a lot of the things that I had to go through when I was a child before I reached the age of adult, you know, where I did do a lot of, well, I wasn't always the nicest kid. Sometimes I ran away from home because I didn't like the situation I was in. So, and sometimes I did it for silly things like a girl or because I just felt like I was so mad at everybody that I just didn't care anymore. You know, there were times where I wanted to just give up and run away from everybody and everything and start all over again from scratch where nobody knew who I was, you know? And that's not always an easy thing to do when you're a kid. Although I did try my darndest when I turned 17, I tried to get into a car and get to New York City in the biggest junker of a car that could ever happen and stuff like that. Welcome on in, Journey of Discovery! How are we doing today? You know, so I was just telling a little bit about my past and stuff like that, and I will get into some more of the stories of my youth when we have some time to do that. You know, so greetings and salutations, my fine friend. I really appreciate you and welcome into my stars. Be a part of my community by, getting a reading today if you want. It's going fabulous. We reached 500 followers yesterday, which was my first major goal. My third major goal that I've hit. I've got one last goal to meet, and then I'm just having a positive week so far. Things are going out and going good. So, I'm very excited. We're going to be having a 6-hour stream coming up in February, and then we're going to be also doing a couple of other things. I've also got my deck that I'm trying to get published and other things that I'm trying to get accomplished to do. Sorry, I got an itch in my throat. Use my tongue to itch my mouth. Okay. You sure can. That's what I'm here to do, Discovery. Journey, welcome on in, Journey. We'll go with Journey for a while because I like that. One of the readings I do give privately is called my Journey Layout, and it's all about finding the path that you want to be on and finding out some more detailed information about what you need to know about your path. I'm wondering, since your name is Journey, would you like to have a journey layout today? And I can explain how that all works for you as well. Okay, journey works for me because I've always been about the journey. And one of the things is that my journey has been epic in my own mind. So let me explain this to you a little bit here so you can understand. I'm going to pull something up on the screen here. So this over here is my journey layout, okay? And what this is how I'm going to do your reading. I'm going to be doing all of these cards. I'm going to be telling you what they all mean, and I'm going to go through all of them. But you will have some choices to make along the way. I'm going to explain that now. First, the first two cards, you don't get a choices. I always tell you your first two cards. Your past path is all about those past victories and defeats that you've been doing up to this point. But what do you need to start to do to face that forward button? How do we turn ourselves around and start to walk forward into the path and into our future? Then I talk to you about your weight path. Sometimes we have to take some time to make choices and decisions in our life. Give ourselves enough time and space to make a good choice with our mental mind and our physical mind, spiritually, mentally, and physically, and we have to come to the best decision. But we also can't wait around forever. The silver plate doesn't always come in the plop of your hands, so this card tells you what you may be stuck in or what you may need to think about and contemplate before making the next step forward. Then here is the choice portion of the reading. I will present to you 3 different choices. You will get to go down each and every one of these paths, but you choose which one you go down first. Right now, I'm going to tell you about the hard path. The hard path is all about overcoming adversity, getting to your goals as quickly as possible, but eventually we got to take a nice long break to let that soak in so that we know we have made that goal. We are going to jump over any hill and valley along the way. We're going to be as determined as we can to get to that goal. Then the easy path is all about setting small obtainable goals, taking small obtainable breaks, making sure you are going at a nice steady pace, but you're not trying to rush it there. You may have 10 steps to get to that major goal, but you will actually not have to waste so much energy because you will take your time to get there. So just like this one, you get your goal on the hard path right away. This one takes a little bit longer to get there, but you do eventually get there. So what do you need to do within your easy and hard path? What do you need to be more determined with, and what do you need to start to make goals about? And then the last card that I have to explain to you is called the unseen path. Well, I mean, in this portion of it. And that means we're going to bring a little bit of the easy, a little bit of the hard together, And we are going to start to forge our own path forward by cutting through the reeds and finding out what one thing we have yet to face in our lives that we know if we could get past this one thing, our lives would start to open up in new, different ways. But because we haven't taken the sword to swipe down those reeds in our way, we don't know about the unseen path that is before us. This doesn't take long, doesn't take short. It can be as easy or as hard as you want it to be, because you are the one in charge of forging your own future forward. Then lastly, but not least, the last three cards I have to do. And here's where the last choice for you has. You will be asked to pick either your home card or your leap of faith card. Now, your home card is all about what you need to bring within yourself and expel within yourself. And then also, the leap of faith card is what you need to do to face those fears. What do I need to overcome in my life that I haven't thought about that I need to overcome? What do I need to take that leap of faith with? No one's asking you to jump off that cliff without a parachute, but they're asking you to jump. So what do you need to do there? And I will ask you to pick one of those cards first. And then after this point, no matter what happens, the last and final card you will get is the Wandering Path card. That is all about the choices and decisions you may not have made yet, or what choices or decisions you may want to make soon. A wandering path doesn't have a time frame, doesn't even have a place, doesn't even have a moment. It's walking in the moment. Every single day, you're just waking up and living and breathing in that moment. It's not worried about a plan. We're just going to keep going until something comes to us and opens up that path forward. And that is my journey layout. Do you understand all that? Please let me know you do. All right. So, first and final thing I need you to tell. There are no questions in this. This is just a general reading about you and your path here. So I want you to think about your life right now, what you want to accomplish with goals, and I want you to think about everything that you want to know about where you are at right now. This is one of the most intense readings I can give anybody, guys. I'm doing this for free for Journey to show you my journey layout that you can get with me privately on my Discord channel. So go get on my calendar right now if you want to schedule an appointment for one of these. They do cost $20 for a full hour, okay? So that means we will talk about your reading. We will talk about any other questions you have, okay? But thank you guys. That's my little bit of advertisement for today. Let's get going. So here's the last and final thing I need you to do. I need you to pick numbers for me, 1 through 10. How many times am I shuffling this deck for you? And then also I need you to pick a second number, 1 through 52. Okay? And that is where your journey begins, Journey. Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, these are free readings. If you want to give me a donation somewhere down the line, I would greatly appreciate it. So, here we go. You are the first official person to get this in my deck. So we are ready, all cleansed and cleared. Here are your 8 official shuffles. Now, if you've been here before and you think cards will pop out of the deck, there are no God cards. This is wholly, completely a message from your higher power. So here we go. Your 8 official shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the 37th card. Now, whenever I do this, the first card out of the deck always is your Wandering Path card. Let me see. I gotta set this up right here, so give me a second here. Oh.
Work goes smoothly when you know the right steps. With Asana, you can coordinate tasks across teams and stay on track, so your team can spend more time celebrating wins. Try it
Okay.
at asana.com.
Okay, so that's your Wandering Path card that always comes out first no matter what. Now this counts as 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 37th card is now on top. Here we go. And we always reveal your cards in order that you choose, and we don't see any cards before we get to that reading. So these are your cards for your reading today there, Journey. Let me do one last thing because I need to concentrate here. I have some music playing in the background I need to quiet or silence. Actually, I just need to silence it. There we go. Okay. Now I need to do this here. So here we go. So the first card that we are going to get, and I want to make sure that you're ready. This will kick your spiritual ass a little bit, but it will be something that will help you in your journey. So when you're ready, just say ready, and we'll get going on to doing your reading. Ready for the kick ass. You got it. All right. So what do we have to know about our past and where we have been up to this point? I know we've been through the shitstorm sometimes in life. Things have not gone exactly as easy as you would have liked them to go within your life. The thing that you have been trying to learn how to do from this past is put on that protective armor once again. Sometimes we need to come to a place within ourselves where we start to put on this aura shield within ourselves to protect us from the outside weather that is happening to us. You know, sometimes in life, it's like these little ice pellets get into our skin and start pelleting us and pelleting us and pelleting us until we don't feel like we have any strength left. That's the problems of the universe. If you know what sleet is, and if you don't know what sleet is, go get a snow cone somewhere, get a giant fan and start throwing snow cone balls into it without any flavoring, by the way, and then stand there for about 5 to 10 minutes and you'll know what sleet feels like. So that's what the world has been trying to get to you. But if you put this protective armor on that you need to start to do right now, the reason I put this shirt on every day, this necklace on every day, and this hat every day, it's not just because this is my uniform or my priest outfit, because I don't have a collar, because I'm a Wiccan, not a Christian, so I don't have a collar. These are my minister clothes here. So when I come here, I do this for very specific reasons. I put on my spiritual cloak right now to protect me from those physical outside forces that I don't want in this room or in these readings. Now, I put this hat on to cut out all of my own mundane thoughts so that I can be connected to the higher powers and guides and gods that will help me with your reading today. And then I put this necklace on to protect me spiritually from all of those things that may be floating out there that may want to cause you harm or me harm. And that's what I do every day to make sure that I am ready. And that's what I feel like you've been working on in your life right now, is learning how to put that cloak back on so that we can have that beautiful aura of positivity surrounding us so that none of this sleet can ever get anywhere near us anymore. And that is where we're really starting to see it. Have shielded this morning. Good. It's just a reminder to make sure that you get yourself in that habit of putting those shields on and making sure that you got them already. You don't have to make them Fort Knox style either. You just have to make them enough for where you can still experience the world but not block yourself off from everything either. Let's get to see what your waiting path is right now. All right, your wait path. All right. So what is your wait path right now? Where are we trying to make some choices and decisions? Or maybe this is something that needs to be told to you so that you can finally get up off of your ass and move forward. Let's see here. What do the cards have to say for you today? Well, I want you to know one very special thing. Your past has made you one of the most resilient, most powerful people. You've gotten through the tough times. The armor that you have been wearing up to this point may look like it has a lot of tings and chings and dings in it, but it has been protecting you because you are finally saying to yourself, now is my time. Now is my time to start to grow. And that might mean that some of these things that I no longer need in my life are need to be get rid of, but they're always going to be a part of that ding on that armor, that change that I made in my life. You are just like the paper birch tree here in Minnesota. They always have water flowing through within it. And as you are allowing yourself to right. And what you are they always have water flowing through within it up to a certain degree, of course. I think it's 15 degrees minus some Fahrenheit when the water starts to slow, but it doesn't always stop. It may slow, but it doesn't stop. And then you are also like this part of this paper birch tree where it does one very unique thing that a lot of other trees don't do. It starts to peel off all of those unwanted, unneeded things, just like you are starting to do. Taking off those anxieties, taking off those fears, taking off those old bad habits, taking off all of that stuff that we used to do that was unhealthy for us. That was what is the result of those dings on that armor. But we still wear an armor that protected us along the way. And I want you to know today that if you know anything, you are a resilient man, person, whatever the case may be. And maybe now is your time to say, I'm ready to make a different choice or decision along my path. I think they are telling you, stop waiting around now. You've gotten all that you need to get through this. Now it's time to kick some ass and choose a path. So, bringing it up to my little thingy here, we have choices for you to decide to do now. So, you can decide to go down one path. We're going to go down each and every path. But which one do you want to see first? It is a part of your reading. You can either see your hard path first, your easy path first, or your unseen path first. Which one do you need to know more about right now? What is your unseen path? So what do you need to do to forge a future of your own choosing? The one thing that you have yet to probably face or kind of overcome right now is communication. Physically, mentally, and spiritually through your own body first. And also in your life. Physically, mentally, and spiritually, we have to learn how to communicate with all three aspects of what our life means. We have to take care of the physical body, allowing ourselves to have good communicational skills by being active listeners, listening to what they're saying, then giving our feedback to them in the best, best way we know how to do. And allowing our mental mind to not take into account all these other bad thoughts and feelings that are along the way, and then allowing those things to make and cloud our judgment up. Hey, TC, how's it going, buddy? We're in the middle of a reading right now, but welcome on in. And also to communicate through that spiritual body, allowing yourself to awaken within yourself and allowing yourself to connect to that part of your highest self that is always a part of that God that you believe in or that higher power in which you believe in. And now we are going to be obtaining that higher self. But we need to learn how to communicate a little bit more effectively right now to make sure the universe and everybody around us knows exactly what we want in our lives. That is your unseen path right now. Where would you like to go next? Your hard path or your easy path, Journey? And I'd like to say welcome into Shamanic Awakening. Welcome on back. Welcome on back. Your hard path. So what is your hard path? Ooh. So the thing that you need to start to overcome and get past, the thing you need to fight against the most or use it to your advantage. Hey, we've got some things we don't exactly like about our life. We got some things about ourselves we don't exactly like. There are some people out there who have made us kind of frustrated, angry, and all of that other stuff. Anger is not a bad emotion, people. Anger is a healthy thing for us to feel. But sometimes we like to bottle this up like it's Gollum's ring and carry it around. Like if we carry this thing along far enough, we can get it into the volcano to throw it into the magic pit where it will no longer bother us, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that that ring has already made it there. You've just got to drop it in and let this anger that we have about ourselves and what we feel about our journey. How determined do we need to be in our journey right now? Can we use it as fuel for the fire? Can we use it as our all-encompassing reason to finally let go and let the Lord and Lady or whatever God you believe in handle that? Sorry, I don't normally bring in my own personal deities, but just saying that it's time to kind of think about all these things that you might be holding on to. Welcome in, Marshmallow. Welcome in, Duck. Welcome on back, everybody. Nice to see you all in here. Nice to see you're all in there. Yeah, but today I want you to do one very special thing for me to start your journey and finishing this hard path. So you need to start to let this all out, and then you need to kind of allow your life to kind of come to this low point. But as you're doing this, I want you to go find an ugly old plate or something ceramic that you can break into many different pieces, okay? And I want you to write on that plate all the things that you don't like about what has been going on up to this point. And then I want you to go outside and utterly destroy this plate and use all of that anger to get it out on. Wear appropriate safety gear, please. Okay? So, maybe this is something that we need to be a little bit more determined about getting over, or maybe this is something we need to use as our fuel for the fire. Now we only have one other path to go down at this point, which is your easy path. All right, so what is your easy path trying to tell you? Well. Where one hand tells us we need to let go, the other hand tells us we must finally celebrate. We must celebrate every goal and achievement we made. Every time we took time to figure things out and make a plan. Every time we said to ourselves, the easy path right now seems a little bit more obtainable. Maybe I can take all those, hey! Only 499 to go. We are on our way to 1K, guys. But the celebration that you need to start to do within the easy path is celebrating life once again. Get back around those people who support you, who come to your aid, who want to help you light the cauldron of change, who want to see you put the best parts of yourself within yourself and allow you to express. The thing you need to do in your easy path right now is celebrate it. All right. Now, we have one last choice for you to make. And welcome on in, and thank you everybody for the emotes and the love, guys. I really appreciate it. But on to you. We get to go down the next two paths. Would you like to go down your home path or your leap of path first? Which one do you want to know? So what do we need to bring within ourselves or possibly expel within ourselves? Well, it's time to expel this fear. But it's not just any fear. It's the light, very obtainable, thin ice kind of fear. We are getting stuck in our own little anxieties that are tiny and minuscule that keep us from doing more better things. They come through with all of that stuff within ourselves as well. But we have to stomp our feet to the ground every once in a while and free ourselves from these things, these doubts, these fears, these anxieties, these things that we know we can get over pretty easily. We just got to take that one step forward. And maybe it's time for you to understand that there are some things you are holding back on and not allowing yourself to stomp that foot forward. So the thing I think you need to expel within yourself is a little bit of you being afraid to try new things. So, what is your leap of faith trying to tell you, huh? Hey, welcome in. I am not Santa. He contacted me and told me he wants me to stop representing him. He's got a complete wonderful thing. But thank you for the compliment. I am a Santa of sorts. But what is your leap of faith, right? What fear do we need to face? What fear do we need to go on? And what cliff are we ready to jump off? Yeah, I'm Santa's younger brother, Carl. I don't do anything. I just sit there on the beach every day and wait for Santa to come back going, "Did you have a nice trip?" Tired. That's what I hear every year. But let's get back into the reading because I'm in an important reading for Journey right now. All joking aside, he needs to hear this one. So what do you need to do with your leap of faith? It's time to get back around your community, my friend. It's time to get back out there and be a part of a whole community. Get around that fire circle and get your friends and people that are supportive of you and start to bring this together in a form that you can start to share the stories. You can start to share the experience. You can get back around these people who have supported you and keeping you along the way. It's time to get back into that community again and re-embrace that journey of knowing other people's journey will help our journey. And last but not least, we have your Wandering Path card. So what is your Wandering Path card trying to tell you? You know what? We like to have a lot of plans, don't we? We like to have a lot of time to consider and reconsider and reconsider. Have you kind of been feeling like you've been running around in circles lately, not being able to get anything done or not accomplishing anything? You kind of feel a little stuck? Hats off. Hats on. All right, so it is, and I'm honestly asking you for this right now, there, Journey. Do you feel like that right now? Well, the reason you're kind of going through it right now is because they're trying to get you to learn this lesson for the last time. They want you to go through this one more time so that you can kind of have that review. And the reason you got the pupil card in your Wandering Path is that the learning you have yet to accomplish can't be planned. The kind of things that you have yet to do can't be put on a map, can't be done anywhere else but within yourself. So the learning that you need to start to understand is ask yourself, what one thing has come up in my life over and over and over again that I have yet to face or overcome or learn how to do it in a new and different way? Because the old way hasn't been working. So we need to start to decide something. We have to take what we have learned and start to make a healthier, better chance forward. That's how we learn the lessons of life. That's how we get off of the wandering path and start to find a path that's right for us. Maybe right now it's not about the plan, it's about the journey. See what I did there? So let's review. All right. First, we had to put on our personal cloak through our past and remind ourselves how resilient and how much fortitude we actually have. We had to let go of some of this communication and learn how to recommunicate once again. We had to find that anger within ourselves and expel it or use it as our personal power to move us forward, because we were ready to celebrate our life every single day and make the cauldron of change burn, because we're ready to add the ingredients to it, because we're ready to take that first step out of our worst fears, out of those tiny fears, into our future as we rejoin our sacred circle and friends and family who will help us along the way, because now is the time to learn that lesson and learn it well, because we don't ever want to go through this ever again. And that is your journey layout reading. My journey. Any questions? Exactly. So that we can start to make a new, different path forward, one we know we want to go to. Start to manifest that spot in your mind and start to see where you want to be. Today, make the choice to make this day be the start of your best day ever. If you go back to any beginning, let it be this day. Let it be today that you realized all that which you learned through this reading today. May you walk your path wisely, because the future can always change and can always become something different. Remind yourself every day just how lucky you are to live the life that you have to live. All right, guys. That was my journey layout reading. I gave that away first thing in the morning because his name was Journey, and we were going to be moving on. We're back to doing our regular 3-card general readings now. I'm going to give these a nice old cleanse. If you guys ever want to get one of those, they are $20, and you can contact me through my calendar app or my Discord app, or set up an appointment sending me an email to my email. That stuff should go through there, Scott. You want to find out where all that stuff is? Go to my link tree. You can find out where all of my appointment stuff and information is there. So let's do a cleansing shuffle for Marshmallow. Marshmallow, it is your turn. Marshmallow, it is your turn. And are we talking to Ray or are we talking to Mellow today? All right. So, Ray. All right, your cards are ready to rock and roll. Since I know you know how it works here, throw me your numbers, throw me a question if you have it. If you just want a general, tell me general. While I get some more ice in my drink. Just got some water here today. I'm all out of money until, well, basically on the 3rd of February. So that's when I get paid next. So that's when I'll have money again to be able to buy coffee and things like that. At least it's on a weekend this time where I have my days off. I don't need to worry about getting back in time. You know. Well, pick one. No, 10. 1 through 10. 1 through 52. Those numbers are not working for me. 1 through 10, 1 through 52. I'm not shuffling 14 times. $52 can be okay, thank you. So here are your first 4 official shuffles. God cards are back in play now. 1, 2, 3. No need to apologize. No need to apologize, guys. Never have to apologize here, guys. We all have these things where we make mistakes, and it's okay, and that's just fine. That's why if you ever don't remember, just ask me. You can also look in my pinned chat. It tells you exactly how it works here. So just that's there for your reminders to let you know how it works. So So let's go with the 14th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and the 14th card. And we want to know about love and where possibly I will be able to find that love. That's the question right there. We'll try to answer both questions today, but genuinely, I like to answer only one question, okay? All right. So let's see what we have to go with today. Wow, okay. All right. So we want to know about where love is right now and where we can find love in the future. So, one of the things I am feeling for you right now is, Ray, that we are still beginning this journey of discovery. We want to cut through some of our fears right now. What is kind of stopping you right now from finding that love is, first, we need to be in a good place with ourselves and say, I am ready, I am worthy, and then start to write down all those things that we want in a spouse someday. Write down today 10 different things on a list of what you want your spouse to be like. Not body type, not how they look, not what they do for a living, just who they are as a person. And then I want you to pray on that list every single day for at least a month. And then after that, we will start to see the path going forward. It's going to be one you forge yourself. So how are you ready? Are you ready to take more risk and risk your heart of being hurt? Are you ready for that moment when someone says, no, I don't like you and don't want to date you? Are you ready for that moment when they say, yes, I like you. I really, really like you. Remember, sometimes we can get more than we wanted in the first place and it'd be way overwhelming. Hey, we can get a girlfriend, but they're the most abusive girlfriend in the world. So be careful what you wish for. You may just get it. But the unseen path is all about not really needing to be so determined about it, but being determined about that goal, but making small obtainable goals along the way. You do have to face this one thing that you have yet to face, that to get over in order to cut your way through to the path that you want towards love. That's what you've been working on through your past up to this point. Now we need to start doing the easier path. We need to start to make steps. 10 steps towards our goal. First, let's make sure ourselves are first. Number one step is make sure we're good first. We're ready. We don't need to worry about trying to find someone to help fix us. We're trying to share our journey, not fix us, okay? So if you're trying to find someone to fix you, don't start a relationship. If you're trying to find someone to share your life with and be a part of that experience, then you're ready. But you have to start to make smaller obtainable choices along the way of getting to that. So then let's brush up ourselves and make ourselves look as good as possible. Then let's make sure our mind is healthy. Let's get rid of all those old bad habits we used to have with dating or relationships and start to learn what a healthy, good relationship looks like. That's going to start to attract that love to you. And as you start to make these goals, the places that you will start to meet people, you won't have to travel anywhere. They will come to you. Wouldn't it be nice for love to find you instead of you trying to find love? Well, you know what's coming for you in your future is a point where you're going to reach a stage of maturity. And that means that I have to say that I am ready, I am confident, that I have done and take my time to make the right possible choice for me. Because we don't want to get in an unhealthy relationship just to be in a relationship. If you want another person who's just going to be there for a while, I suggest, not in a legal sense, go get someone you can pay to be with you. Because that's about the only kind of love that we don't want to have, okay? Okay, we want to find the love within ourselves, but also that love in place where we want to share it. And you are asking me where I'm going to find this love. Well, first, the love that we are seeking is within ourselves there, Ray. We have to get over this stage of grief of what has happened in our past. We have to allow what has happened in the past to stay there. Now we have to change our attitudes about what dating it means. Means we have to be listening. We have to be telling them what is going on with us, communicating with them. And loving will come to you because you are getting your soul ready for that. You are on that last bit of stage of grieving the loss of losing all that which was came before, so that you can be ready for that new love to come in, and it will be so easy it won't even be funny. But we have to see the sun through the clouds first. We have to start to see that it is possible before we can allow that manifestation to go into that darkness and cut through the ether and scream and holler at that one you love, like that beacon, and say, I'm ready to find you, or you to find me. Now, with that said, I want you to start looking around your local markets and some place that you frequent. There's a, like I said, it's near fruit stands and artwork and kind of some kind of a, I don't know, like game of chance or something like that. It kind of feels like there's a, you know, a festival or something like that coming up or something like that. I want you to go to that festival. If there's some kind of a big festival coming up soon where you celebrate love or celebrate connections or celebrate that kind of stuff, I want you to start to seek places like that out and start to get yourself ready for that dating thing. Just get comfortable around people and being comfortable about being yourself. Number one, be yourself and nobody else. Don't put a mask on yourself. Number two, be ultra communicative. Good, the bad, the uglies, everything in between. Let's tell everybody and everything what we are all about, so they don't have to make any kind of what kind of mask are you wearing today kind of judgment call. We want them to fall in love with our soul, not the mask we put on so we protect ourselves. Then we have to remind ourselves that we are going to be a team. We have to start to work together as a team. We have to be the most beautiful power couple once it becomes something that is more concrete and more like a relationship. Even when you're dating, let's do this by saying we do this together. And we are going to have our times when we can't spend every moment of the day together at first. Let's not be worried about what they're doing. They're not going to be worried about what I'm doing. When we come together and have our time together, until it is shown to us otherwise, we're going to appreciate that person and trust that person. Then the last and final thing, and a couple things you need to know, is you need that love in return. Yes, you may get love, but it may not be the kind of love you want. Friendship is love. Parents love you. A lot of things love you. Your pet loves you. So when you say love, you know, that can mean a lot of different things. So if you want to get real true love that doesn't require any of this stuff, go get a puppy or a cat. Okay? But if you want real true love as a human being, then we need to start to do that. And the last thing you need to remind yourself of is take your time. Like someone said earlier. Because if you take your time and allow them to come to you, you will find that right around that right place. And I want you, like I said, either you need to start looking around where you market. There is someone around there that you kind of see on a regular basis who's always taking the time out of their way to come talk to you. I kind of feel like they're a little bit more of a broad-shouldered dude. They kind of look like lumberjacky, dark to light skinish in a way. I see kind of darker hair with darker eyes. He's got a kind of a really slender nose with kind of lightly sunken eyes, not creepy sunken eyes, just always makes him look like he's contemplating something. I don't know if this person means anything to you, but it's someone that you kind of feel like you have a connection with. Maybe it's time to ask them out on a date. And that is your reading for today, my friend Ray. Have a great rest of the day. Well, she's always going to look for that physical, but I want her to look up that internal first, okay? That internal portion of what he that has to match that outside view, okay? We have to have the two match here, okay? We can't just look for the body and go, oh, that's good enough. We have to find the other half of the equation, and that's where she needs to go. You know? But I think there's someone in your circle that maybe you're attracted to who's also attracted to you. They just never thought that opportunity would ever present itself. Beetle, it is your turn, Beetle. Let me do a cleansing shuffle for you and get these cards ready for you. General reading for you since I haven't seen you here before. Let me explain how it works here. I'm going to ask you to pick a number 1 through 10. That's how many times I'm going to shuffle the deck for you. Then I want you to pick a number 1 through 50. 420, I also have a question. Whoop, whoop. All right. And if you have a question, put it in chat. Is 4 and 20 your number? 4 shuffles, 20th card? I'm asking seriously now. Otherwise, I need to pick numbers again. 1 through 10, shuffle 1 through 52. Where's your reading start? If 420 is your real answer, then that's what we'll do. Kind of going to wait for confirmation on that one. Beetle? Okay. And my question, are the numbers you provided me your numbers, 4 and 20? Welcome back, Map. Okay. Here we go with your 4 official shuffles. 1, 2. I'm doing awesome. You got 2 God cards. 3 and 4. And the 20th card. I've had a beautiful time since the last time you've seen. I've got a nice, strong community now. We've reached 500 followers. I have finally gotten back into doing some things that are more creative, like getting my tarot deck actually published. I've got a Kickstarter campaign going on that right now. I'm going to be starting to do maybe a movie night or just chill sesh night where we watch a movie or something together, or maybe play some big games or something like that on the old Discord channel. So that's kind of what's been going on, guys. And now we have the 20th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And the 20th card is now on top for Beetle. So, we want to know about the guy we like, right? Who already has a girlfriend. First and foremost, remind yourself that he is in a relationship. You may like him, but he might be very happy where he is at. Even though you may be attracted to him, he may not be attracted to you. He might already be in love with the person he's currently with and seeking out that relationship. Just remind yourself that if the opportunity does present itself, you got to give him at least a little bit of time to overcome that. Otherwise, you're going to be the, what do they call it? The next guy, damn it, it's called something, the rebound. You know, he's going to be your rebound, okay? Because what we need to start to consider here is how much defensive posturing they are doing and what we are doing as being a very defensive person. We're so afraid of getting hurt by at least telling him how we feel, even though we know he's in a current relationship. We're worried about hurting him and hurting us at the same time. but we're freezing ourselves in place from the kind of growth that we need to have in our lives right now. Because we've got these ultra sharp daggers out there. No one wants to come near us or be a part of us right now because we're so defensive and so anxiety and so full of all of that worry and all of that stuff that I'm not sure I'm capable of or ready for love or worthy of your love. Well, now it's time to start to consider it's time to melt that ice so we can begin to grow again. But what do we need to do? Maybe this is the time that you actually take the time you need for yourself. Maybe he needs to go through the relationship he's in to realize that someone like you could be a better fit sometimes. But that might mean watching him go through and falling in love with somebody else. Trust me, I've been there. I've done that. I was in love with a girl who couldn't love me back in return. I loved her so completely. I tried to change every last thing about myself to fit what I thought she wanted in a man. But I never measured up. She always dated these creepier guys who were way down below what I felt she was worthy of. They were always drug addicts. They were always some kind of emotional issue, some kind of other issue. She definitely had some daddy issues there. But you know what? Sometimes in life, we need to wait. It's time for you to start to consider some life-changing decisions you want to make in your life. What kind of love do you want? Do you want real, true love, or do you want stolen love? Or do you want rebound love? Because this person that you like right now, they don't see you because they're too involved with who they're involved with. Maybe this is the time for you to wait. And maybe all you have to do is give it time. And give it the time that you want in your life. And get yourself ready by saying one very important thing that you do need to do to reach that in your future. Hey, I420 guy in the chat! I reached 500 followers, my man. We're going to have a 500 follower celebration soon, probably on the 9th of February. But what you need to start to do there, Beetle, is get back around those positively minded people. The people who are supportive. The people who keep you thinking in a more positive, loving way. Think of if it were you and you already had this person in your life. Would you like another girl coming and telling them what you want to tell them? Would you like that if it was done to you? Can you put yourselves in that other person's shoes? And remind yourself that what you're asking is, do I go tell him how I feel? Sure, go tell him how you feel. But he might not be like, okay, thank you for letting me know. I'm already in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? But you have to get around these people and start to follow around those community people who are do those beautiful things for you, who are keeping you positively minded, who are keeping you on a positive track. You have to be like a sunflower in a sunflower field, following positivity around all day long for a while until you've gathered up enough energy or self-beauty within yourselves to believe we are ready and capable of love. First, you need to say this: I am worthy of love. Number 2, I am ready for love. Number 3, I'm not trying to fix myself. Number 4, I am ready to share my journey. Number 5, I am willing to be hurt. Okay? And that's what it takes to find real, true love. And what your destiny card is kind of coming back to and telling you why you're going through all of this right now is because you are in search of that real, true family. This is my father's card in my deck. My father was always a very irresponsible young man when I was a young man myself. And as he started to go on in his journey, after he decided he no longer wanted to be a part of the family he started with me, my brother, and my mother, he went out looking for other things to fill the spots. He went and did kind of like what you're trying to think of doing now. I want to go find somebody else who can fix me. Or am I trying to find someone to fix me? Or am I trying to find someone who will share my journey with me? Now, a lot of those marriages, he went through 3 different marriages, okay, guy? He was married to my mother the first time. He married my second stepmother, Debbie number 1, who wasn't the best woman. I didn't really like her a whole lot, but I was also a teenager at the time. We're going to leave it up to, I didn't believe she was my evil stepmother, but I didn't think she liked me very much, okay? And then, you know, one of the things he had to learn to do was that wasn't working for him, so he went and found a more loving relationship, one who was more accepting, who allowed him to share more of his emotions and feelings and thoughts. That's where me and my father reunited again, and we became this good, strong couple. So there's also a father figure in your life today I want you to go seek out. But the thing my father had to learn to do in order to find the real true love he was searching for was go out there and howl at the moon and say, I am ready to let you find me. Hear my song, hear my call. How come to me, my one true family. How come to me, come to me. Because that's what we are doing. And it's time to pour those full emotions, those healthy emotions out. We want the good, we want the bad. And that's what we call the facts of life. The facts of life. Okay, I had to for 5 seconds. Sorry. But my father turned his life around. And eventually, now this is not saying that this will be done for you. Eventually, he did end up remarrying my birth mother again for the last and final time he would ever get married. They fell back in love again and got remarried after almost being apart for a very, very long time. So I want you to know that this portion of your life is all about you finding the family that you are looking for. You don't need to be the leader or the follower in this group. You just need to be a part of. So while you're going out on this journey and wondering what this boy is thinking of you right now, he's on his own journey. And right now he doesn't see you right now because he's too involved with his girlfriend, which I think he's in very much love with. I think you could go tell him, but I would like you to say this. I want you to tell him, hey, I know you're in a relationship, but I just wanted to tell you that I always had an attraction to you. Whatever you have to say there, and I'm not expecting anything in return. I just wanted to let you know how I felt. And I'm not expecting you to drop your girlfriend for me. And then leave it at that, and you're planting that seed for somewhere in the future that might come for you. But Beetle, since you haven't been here before, we have something we call God cards. You've been asking another question of your higher power a lot lately. You've been looking up to the sky and say, please, God damn it, give me an answer already. It might be about your last reading. It may have nothing to do with your last reading, but these are the answers you have been waiting for. These are the most extreme, most intense cards I can tell you about. I do kick some spiritual ass during this time. So if you're not ready to see these cards, say, nope, not ready. Or say, yes, show me my cards. Whatever it feels. And after that, we will get on to doing Duck's reading. So this is the last portion of your reading. And then Duck, you are next. So what do you need to hear from your higher power? What do you need to do right now? We need to start to glaze like the brilliant, beautiful sun in the sky. We need to start to shine down onto our lives all the positivity, because we are the sun. We are the things that make things grow. We shine down on the place we want to grow, because that place we've just planted, those new seeds, need that positivity to grow. And it's time that you start living in the happy rather than living in the sad. And they want you to stop living in the sad and start looking for every damn thing that has been coming to you in a better way lately, because they've been trying to show you things are improving, but you aren't taking that as good things. You think that all this stuff that's going on right now, these little tiny things don't add up to something. They do. Now is the time to find the acceptance within yourself. It's time to accept yourself for the good, the bads, the uglies, everything that is in between. It's time for you to love all that which you are, all the parts of who you are. And that means loving even the bad, icky parts we hate about ourselves. Time to stop hating those things. Start to recognize they are a part of us. We can always change those. We can always move those into different places. The thing we cannot do is let them stay there forever. It's time to allow ourselves that acceptance that they have been a part of us and will continue to be a part of us until we change them. And then those other things that are good for us do come on and counteract some of that stuff. Make your positives more positive than your negatives. And that's what you really needed to hear today. Map your after duck. Remember, guys, I go in order here, and I take my time with everybody. So, gonna do a cleansing shuffle here. I hope that answers your question today there, my friend Beetle. And, yeah, you still have time. Plenty of time. And even if you don't, just let me know when you're back. I'll make sure I wait for you, okay? Hey! We just got another follower. We had just got another follower. All right, we're getting closer and closer, guys. Every time I get another follower, right now we're at 502. So, all right, rock and roll. We keep going up, keep going up. I really appreciate that you came here today and gave me that follow. Thank you for that. I truly appreciate that. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad that I gave her a good reading. But, you know, I wanted to tell her what she needed to know, not necessarily what she wanted to know. Yeah, and sometimes we have to hear it through a different person before we can hear it in our own heads. We don't always listen to the parents. That father figure, hey, TC over here, might be the wise person giving you the best advice you could possibly get. All right, we got to get this fixed. I don't know why it's being weird today, but it's being weird today. Well, thank you for letting me know. Duck, Explorer, Tony, it is your turn. You hop into the chat. Let me know you're here. The cards are ready to rock and roll for you. All right, Duck. Your birthday numbers. All right, 10 and 2. Do we have a question or just a general reading for you? And next time, please don't mention that they're your birthday numbers. I want you to stay safe here, okay, Duck? Someone could use that information to their advantage, all right? So just remind yourself of that, okay? So, please ask my guides if they want me to go to my aunt's funeral. We weren't that close, but my parents are pushing me to go. Okay. And your numbers were 10 and 2. 10 shuffles, second card in. You got it. 1, 2. Sorry, I had to close my door. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we got some God cards. We got 4 God cards for you today there, Duck. And that was the 10th shuffle, so we got 1, 2, 1, and then the second card is now on top. And we want to know about if you need to go to the funeral or not. What a message. What a message indeed. So, Do we need to go? Why is your mom pushing you to go? There is a part of you that needs to release something anyway. And what a perfect occasion that people might be crying, laughing, or giggling at, or going through a myriad of different emotions all at once, for you to have the opportunity to let some of the things you've been holding back in, and that means that we have to start to realize that there's a part of us that needs to let go of our aunt, that there is a part of us, even though we weren't very close. Sometimes it's not about what we do for ourselves, it's what we do for others. You're not going for yourself, you're going for your mother. And I want you to kind of remind yourself of that. That she needs this to release. She wants you along with her because she feels you would be the best support person along the way for her. So maybe it's time to give back to mom that which she once gave to you a little bit, by allowing her to go and release that which she just lost, her sister. You know, she just lost someone who was probably very close to. I remember when my mother and my Aunt Sandy lived together for a while, and eventually my Aunt Sandy did die. And my mom was mad at me because I'm a priest, right? And at her time when they were being told that she was going to die soon, I made sure that everybody had their time to talk to Sandy. I was the last person to go into that room. I took her by the hand and I told her it was okay to go, that I gave her permission to go, that Lord Jesus was waiting for her, and that she was okay to go. She'd done enough work here. And about 5 seconds later, she passed away. My mom was mad at me for that because she asked me why I did that. Because she needed to be told it was okay to go. And sometimes that's what it means for your mom. It's okay for you to go. It's okay for me to come with you if you need me. But remind yourself that that's kind of why we have been going through this recently. And what she needs to go through is part of the past she wants to honor her sister, and she wants you along the ride. Why do we need to go? Because it reconnects us back to our past in some way. There's a part of our destiny, there's a part of the information we will find out at this funeral that we have not found out before, that will open our eyes to seeing our world in a whole new different way. We will go to the top of our hill and sit under our willow tree, because a willow tree does one very unique thing. It sways in the breeze. And it sways and it flows through all of that which is thrown at it. It's one of the most resilient trees against wind damage because it bends to the force of the wind. It doesn't worry about whether the wind is right or wrong. It just goes with the flow. And it has this wonderful healing properties to heal pain, especially a white willow. This is a weeping willow, so this one isn't so good for pain. It's not really good for a lot of different things, but it is definitely one of the beautiful trees. It provides shade and a lot of things. But there is a destiny that has been calling to you for a while, that you know you want to achieve someday, right? You need to go because this is part of where that journey starts for you. Something you find out during this time will open your world and allow you to start to go towards that future you want in your life. What will you find in that future? Well, as soon as you get out of your own way a little bit, because you can be as stubborn as my wife, and this is my wife's card in my deck. You spend a lot of time trying to navigate the seas. You spend more time down in your problems than you do coming up for air. You run out of air sometimes and you wonder why it's so hard to get to the surface. Well, you have to be just like my wife. She is one of the most stubborn women I've ever met in my life. She doesn't do anything unless she wants to do it. But she's also one of the most intelligent women I've ever met in my life, and also the most beautiful soul I've ever met in my life. She has a kind, compassionate heart. But sometimes she does more for everybody else than she does for herself. She spent most of her time in her youth worrying about death and what bad thing happened to her and what bad thing she had to overcome, and she let all of those problems and worries just gather up within her constantly. She very rarely came up for that fresh breath of air, kind of like a whale has to do every once in a while in order to be able to swim. It's time for you to breach the surface floor, my friend, and come up out of that ocean's floor and take that big gasp and that fresh breath of air in your lungs and let that wonderful exhale out when you exit going, as they breach, they start to make this wailing, exhaling sound, and then you hear this inside, and they take in all the air within their lungs that they need. And yes, they do come up for air every once in a while with their little hole, but when they breach that surface floor, it's time for you also to breach the surface floor with all the joy in your heart. That's what my wife had to learn how to do. Breach that surface floor and jump for joy of that which she actually had in her life. The moment she started to appreciate everything she actually had in her life, she started moving in a more positive direction. She became the whale's joy and became that whale that jumped for joy and found that new fresh breath of air so I could go navigate those seas even easier now because I have all the energy I need. Why are you going through this situation? Because these are the seeds that you will find to plant in your own field. You will gather up seeds at this place that someday will turn into something in the future. So remember that when it comes down somewhere in the future and you say, I remember when I went to that funeral and that dumb tarot guy told me it would affect my life someday. One day you'll turn around and go, oh shit. But it's all about you starting to plant those physical, mental, and spiritual seeds that you need to start to sow in your life so that your mom can release what she needs to release and maybe give you the opportunity to do the same. Allowing you to find a destiny that is a part of yourself and allow you to cry and weep yourself for what your mother is going through. And maybe there's a reason you needed to go through these funerals. Because loss is a part of life. In order to get over loss, we must now learn how to look for life. What better occasion than a funeral than to appreciate the life that you have? Because that life that was so precious to us before, so much of that things, those were the seeds that planted in us one day. And they watched us grow, and they saw us become the kind of people we were. So now it is your turn, so that you can plant your seeds in somebody else, so one day they can grow, so that they can understand and feel the love you want to feel. So go and celebrate that life. Mourn the loss of that life. But be grateful for that which you have. Because maybe that's what they're trying to get you ready for, is they had to show you that loss is not a bad thing. Maybe there's some things we need to let go of ourselves and hold a funeral for ourselves. Maybe it's the old self we didn't want a part of us anymore. And maybe it's trying to tell us we need to have a funeral for that bad old self we don't want back in our life anymore. That is your general reading, Duck, but we do have a For God card message for you today. So that is the answer to the question you posed to me. This is from your higher power there, Duck. Okay. Is there something that you have let go of with guilt? Maybe you feel guilty for not being a part of your aunt's life. Maybe that's what you have to go mourn. Maybe it's not about guilt at all. Maybe you're feeling guilty about succeeding and worried that when you finally get the brass ring, you will lose it, just like Dave lost that loved one at that funeral recently. We've gone through 4 funerals. This will be your 5th funeral then, right? 5 is a very, very, very powerful number in my faith. You will reach all of the elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, or ether, whichever way you want to call it. But you need to stop feeling guilty about that which has happened in the past, no matter what that may be, and start to not feel guilty about the future, that you will succeed and become that better person someday. So you have to let that go in order for you to move forward. Maybe you do or do not have to take a hard path. Maybe you need to be a little bit more determined about what your goals are right now and set concrete goals and see that spot at the end of that journey and go after that spot, climbing any hill, valley, or stump along the way that you need to in order to get to that. But once you've gotten to that point where you are at rest, you must let it soak all in. And I believe this funeral time has been for you to soak something that you learned somewhere in the last couple of months that you had to kind of learn how to come to terms with so that you could allow that to soak into your life. And that would be a part of what your life now. Experiencing all of this right now means maybe now I appreciate life better. And they want you to start to gather up all of your coals. It's time to start to tend to yourself again. We need to move these coals around physically, mentally, and spiritually and stop being worried about any other fires than our own for a while, except for when we're going to help others. And when we are done doing this last bit of help, you can always politely say, if there are any more funerals from this point forward, I'm just going to abstain from this point forward. Maybe it's the time after this to say, no, I'm not going to this one. But it could be the most important one that you could miss. You never know. But you have to start to tend back to the fire that you have within yourself, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and move your coals around so that they can focus your fire in to the one goal that you need to do. Right now, your higher power wants you to know this. They've got your back. Your higher power, no matter who it is, no matter what they are, they have your back. They are giving you everything you've ever asked for right now. They're asking you to take what they are giving you right now and weave the path ahead yourself of what you want to carve your destiny in. It's time to weave the magic. It's time to create the path. It's time to say, hocusy pocusy shalamokoki, okay? And allow yourself to start to trust that inner guide within yourself and start to trust that inner voice. Yes, your guides are always going to be there trying to help you, but we also have to listen to that inside voice. Sometimes they talk to you as well. For whatever reason, that all means some answer to you. You will understand. And I hope that it helped you in some way, shape, or form. Duck. Ooh, here comes somebody I haven't seen in my chat for a while. Welcome back, Map. It's been a minute. How have you been doing though, my friend? I was reading most of what you were saying there. But, so I was going to say, Map, your time. Let's give him a little bit of time. Maybe I'll take a small bathroom break or something real quick. Would you mind if I took a quick restroom break? Real quick, guys. Map, you're the next one on the line, so it will take me about 10 to 15 minutes because I use a cane. It takes me a while to get things, so I'll be back as soon as possible. So don't go anywhere. I will be right back. I'm back, guys. Thank you very much for patiently waiting for me. I truly do appreciate that, guys. We're going to just give everybody a chance to get back in here. Map, Swift Sticks, ready to rock and roll. We are back, guys. All right, Map. Since it has been a while, I would like you to throw me your numbers. 1 through 10, how many times do you want me to shuffle the deck for you? And then 1 through 52, where does your journey begin in my deck? Do you have a question today or just want a general? Either way, let me know. Oh, yeah, BB. What does BB mean? Oh, yeah, BB. I don't know what BB initials stand for. Sorry, I don't know all of the new terms sometimes. All right. Baby. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, baby. Okay. Here are your first official shuffles. Just a general today there, Map? Okay, go ahead and pose me your question, if you would, please. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I understand. It's basically the same question. You have 3 God cards here. And the 18th card is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and the 18th card is now on top. We have God cards after this. All right, and here we go. So, we have some questions about U and J, right, in the future for you guys, okay? Or if this is just another lesson you have yet to learn. Well, are we ready to get our spiritual butt kicked today there, Map? Because I think you're going to kind of get it a little bit here. Anyway, we're going to move along here. Yes, you're ready. All right, good. So, Map, the thing you need to understand is you guys are more put together than you're giving yourself credit for. You need to stop looking at all of the negatives and look at what you actually have with this J person right now. I mean, it's going pretty well, isn't it? Why are we questioning it already? I mean, we haven't even begun to get into the thick of it yet. There are going to be times of doubt and fear and anxiety through any relationship, but how you work on it with your partner will be the way you guys continue to grow as that couple. So you may have all the information that you have needed from your past right now has already taught you what you have already had to know, that you are more put together as a couple than you're giving yourself credit for. And sometimes it's the voices in our own heads that kind of go, am I worthy? Am I worthy? I'm not sure. We're not a couple, just put it up there. Well, it could be that you're ready then, you know, that if you're not a couple yet, then you're put together and ready. That you have a little bit of growth left to go, but you're almost to that I'm done cooking portion of the quest that you've been on. That's what you've been working on up to this point. But I'm saying that there is a lot of good going on for you right now. Just remember that. What you need to do is start to find the joy in this. Okay? You are kind of like my wife, a very stubborn person who doesn't like to move or ruffle the tail feathers of anybody. The very kind, considerate person who doesn't want to hurt anybody else almost to a fault sometimes. But you know what? She's a good woman. She's been through her set of issues and problems in her life. She's overcome major depression, abuse by other people. People who were supposed to love her didn't believe her. A lot of people she went to help didn't help her. She had to overcome a lot of different obstacles. She went through she went through most of her life as hell until she met me. Okay? So this is my wife's card, and she is my one true love. She is the love of my life. But sometimes she gets in her own way a little bit. Sometimes she navigates down in the seas just like a whale. They spend a lot of time down in the ocean navigating the seas, trying to overcome any and all obstacles in their way. But my wife does this very differently, as before she became the whale's joy, she used to go down into that ocean and look for the dangers and head towards the dangers without trying to do that. She was trying to overcome all of these fears and anxieties of the things that have been put on her whole life, and she had to find a way to get past those. But she couldn't see a better future forward. Not until she became Whale's Joy. She had to remind herself that she's not doing this alone, and neither are you, Map. You have your pod by your side. You have your group of people who are supportive, like family to you, who will always keep you safe, who will always keep you protected. But you have to start to remember to do one very important thing if you want this ever to be something. It's time for you to start to take in that fresh breath of air again. You need to breach the surface of the ocean's floor yet again and take in more healthy, zest for life kind of air in your lungs. It's time to scream for joy of how happy I feel in my life, how happy I'm ready for everything that I want to have happen in my life. I need to scream for joy as I reach that surface floor. I let out that yell, whoo, whoo, and I take my deep breath in, and I go back down into the seas, able to navigate even better now, because now I'm looking for life, not for death. I'm looking for how to not just survive, but to live. And that is basically what you're going through right now. So you're responsible for finding the joy in your life. If you think this is a good match for you, then I suggest it's time to get your butt out of the waiting game and go tell that person how you feel. Because it was my wife had to come find me. I was the kind of guy who only saw one Pacific world view for a long, long time. My wife actually came in and stalked me for 3 months before I even noticed her. It took her to take the most extreme measures possible to get my attention, and she said, if I don't get him this time, I give up. So it was on the last chance she was giving me, and thank God I paid attention that time. All right. But in your future, this ties back into your destiny. This ties back into what you've already been told by your guides, gods, and other people who have been there along the way. Underneath this willow tree, I learned one of the most important lessons and got the most embracing, beautiful message I could ever have gotten. I ran away from home after being abused by a babysitter. I went through the cornfield, took out my anger and about a round of corn, got up to the hill where I saw a willow tree in the distance. Underneath this willow tree, I had a very special dream, okay? And this dream told me about my future and meeting my one true love someday. Now, does Jay have all the attributes you're looking for in the guy? Does he match all those things? Or a girl or whatever, Jay, this guy is? Does he match the attributes or what you're looking for in a spouse? Is he trying to fix you or share a life with you? Because if you're trying to get your world fixed, don't go dating Jay yet. Fix yourself first, then go find out what Jay wants, okay? But under this willow tree, I had that dream that gave me the hope that one day I would find the kind of love I was looking for. And here today, my wife in the bedroom of 18 years of marriage, I found the woman of my dreams, my soulmate, who came and found me. So remind yourself that maybe you need to be the kind of girl who gets that flirt game on a little bit higher, who pulls out all of the stops to let him know in no uncertain terms, this is your last chance to see me. If you don't see me at this point, I need to move forward. Okay? But plant those seeds that you want to start to grow in your life there, Map. And that means planting those seeds in your life that you want to start to grow physically, mentally, and spiritually. The reason you're going through all of this right now is to decide what those seeds are. You know what seeds you have available and how to grow into becoming like this grand elder once again. New growth means that one day you could become this grand elder again, but we need to start from the beginning of what it means to be a person ready to be dating again and ready to have that relationship. Then we have to find that joy in our life and breach that surface floor and start to live life and not worry about whether or not all this stuff could be going wrong, but what can be going right. And that the dreams that we are having right now, and we're going to be having some dreams coming up recently soon that are going to be revealing a little bit more of our destiny or something that's going to tell us a little bit more information about what we need to know. But that's why we're planting the seeds right now so that one day it could grow into something better. But you have to start to really understand that you need to start to tell that person how you feel and tell them in no uncertain terms and make it be the last time you give him a chance, because if he doesn't learn it within this next chance, I don't think he'll ever see you. Okay? But I do think there is a future for you and Jay. I think it's gonna be a slow burn kind of relationship. It's gonna go very slowly. Once the ball gets rolling and you do the thing that you need to do, by maybe go asking him out on a date or telling him how I feel or expressing in no uncertain terms, this is how much I want you to be a part of my life. Yeah, exactly with what you just said. I had to kind of read what you said now. Oh, wow, I like that. I don't think I'm fixing. Yeah, I don't think you're fixing yourself. Yeah, and I think you have a little bit of that left to do. And stuff like that as well. But the thing I understand is you're more ready. You're closer to that than you think you are. I think you just have to say, now I'm worthy of that kind of love. That I have learned everything that I can do with myself right now and be okay with who you are right now. Doesn't mean you have to change everything about you. Just love all the parts of who you are. The good, the bads, and the uglies, and everything that comes in between. You can move and change those things and become something better, but don't hate those parts of who you are. They are part of who you are. Embrace those things and learn how to use them as your power, not necessarily as your weaknesses. We do, however, have a God card message for you today as well, Map. Now, I don't know if you've been here since I started doing God cards or not, but these are the most extreme messages you can get from your higher power when you look up to the sky and say, please give me an answer to the question I'm having. It may have something to do with your last reading or nothing to do with your last reading, but it's definitely something you needed to hear today. So if you would like to see your God cards, say, yes, I want to see them, or say, no, I don't, I'm ready to move on. Whichever you want to do, please let me know. Let me hear. Okay. So what is your higher power trying to tell you? I think you hit the head on the nail there, my friend. Because the first thing they want me to tell you, it's time to get back to tending to self first. We need to start to take care of ourselves and love ourselves how we want to love somebody else in our lives. But part of the reason Jay isn't seeing us right now is because our light is dim. Because we don't have enough belief in ourselves that we can't be bright enough for them to notice. We have to believe in ourselves, love ourselves, accept ourselves, and live within the things that we have on our, and appreciate everything we have. Once you've done that, and you can say to yourself, I love you, not in a conceited, narcissistic way, but in a nice, healthy way, now you've done the job that you needed to do. But I kind of think you need a pamper day yourself. I think you need to go have a complete pamper day, getting you all full of all of this beautifulness, getting all this ucky stuff off of your body. I think you need to go rejuvenate and re-energize your power source and your energy again. It's time for you to start to listen to those guides, because your gods want you to know they have had your back during this situation. They are trying to tell you that they are giving you all of the prayer or magic that you need in your life. You just have to learn how to wield it with your magic wand and focus it on what you actually want to weave into your life. You are the one who can manifest it. So if you don't believe it's possible, how can we back you up? We need you to start to listen to those inner guides telling you what you need to do a little bit more. And we will come along and tell you the important information when it's right time for you to know. And last but not least, maybe it's time to be more determined about that in your life than the other thing right now. Maybe one day Jay will come find you. Wouldn't that be nice if one day Jay just turns around one day and says, "Oh, I noticed her. Let me go tell her how I feel." And then you're like, okay? But the hard path is all about being determined about our goals and dreams that we want to set for ourselves right now. And it's about telling ourselves that we're willing to go through whatever we need to go through in order to get to our goal. So if I need to go through some self-care, self-helping stuff first before I can get to that goal, well, guess what? Once you reach that goal, you've got to let it soak all in. Then you'll finally be ready for that moment when you are ready to finally find the next path with your new partner, whoever that may be. And that is your reading today, Map. You're welcome. You're very, very welcome, Map. I'm glad to see you back here again. I'm glad to see that things hopefully haven't been going too hard for you. I am kind of sensing you've been having a little bit of trouble lately. And one other thing that your guides want me to tell you about is they want you to start to journal or look back in your journals or something like that and kind of look back at where you were a year ago and kind of reread what you are actually now and give yourself a pat on the back and let yourself know how much you've actually overcome just in this last year, because they really want you to take acknowledge of that. Okay? That's what they're saying to me. All right, Swifty! Yeah. Exactly. You're too hard on yourself. They are definitely there with you. They are trying to steer you to a place you want to be. They don't do anything for you, my friend. You've got to take every step on your own. They can only show you a path. You still have to walk it. Swifty! It's been a minute since we've done a reading with SwiftSticks. How are you doing, SwiftSticks? Right out of the bat, knows exactly what to do. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I did do a cleansing shuffle, if you noticed. 5, 6, and 7. 21st card. General reading for you today there, Swifty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And the 21st card is now on top. Do you have a question, SwiftSticks? Or just a general? That's my only other question for you. I have been somewhat tied up spiritually, but recently I've been seeing an entity I can't explain. It's a shadow figure, but not a fearful one. Just strong and intense. Can I figure out what this is? Any help? Okay. Don't get scared when you see the death card, okay? It's not death. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I'll check with my death card. Nope, not death. So what do you need to know And why have you been tied up so spiritually recently? Well, my friend, you've reached a portion of the game where we have waited long enough for you to get your own butt moving, so it's time for us to put a fire under your ass. Okay? It's time for us to put this all encompassing, wonderful fire under your ass so you can start to get this forge red hot to start to work on what we actually need to be working on right now. The reason you're seeing this entity is because you're seeing your shadow self. It's you. It's you in the future. The unknown possibilities of what you can be. You have yet to define those things, so it is coming for you, showing you what you need to overcome. Because you facing that dark shadow self, that shadow work we all need to do from time to time, means we have to do one very important thing. We have to use what is being given to us so that we can take ourselves out of the forge that we have been in recently, so we can take ourselves out of that forge so we can start to temper ourselves into a shape we want ourselves to be. That means working on ourselves. That means taking the hammer out and pounding at that soul a while until it becomes what we want it to be. So it's the best representation of who we are. Right now, they're just trying to get you to put back your aura on. Put that happy shield back on. Let's work on those aura shields. Let's work on those power moments when we have these moments of feeling confident and feeling loved and feeling accepted. And ask yourself, what am I hiding from myself that I have yet to face? Because it's your own worst fear that you're facing, not the fear of anything else. It's not a demon, it's not a nothing. It's a demon of your own creation. You've given it form, you've manifested this yourself. So the only person who can make this go away is you, because it is you. Once you accept that shadow self and start to put on your coat of armor once again by putting on that protective shield and keeping you from those outside things that could harm you, like the sleet of this world. And since I know you know what that means, you know what sleet is. It's a stinging ice pellet kind of stuff that hits your skin. It kind of burrows under your skin. It feels like little ice daggers hitting your skin. Go get a bunch of snow cones, throw them into an industrial fan for a minute or two, and you'll kind of have an idea of what sleet feels like. Okay? But you need to start to put that protective armor back on. You need to start to up your game and work on those shields. And you know that. So when you are spiritually cloaking yourself around, what physically protects me? What am I wearing that just reminds me I'm protected every day? I don't care if it's a necklace, ring, rock, or whatever. It's something you hold sacred to you that connects you to your higher power, whatever that might be. Okay? Then you've got to put that physical cloak of armor on, right? The one that protects you from the outside world, other people, other humans, and their energies. We need to put our own coat of armor on. I put this on to protect me from that physical self. Spiritual, physical, and mental, Swifty. Because I have to cut out all of my own mundane thoughts, all of my own thinking, so that I can see the world clearly. So I have to see past what I normally see the world as and see it in a new and different way. So that's what they're asking you to do now. And why you're going through this right now. Because they want you to understand what your true reflection is. Until you've acknowledged all the parts of who you are. The good, the bad, the uglies. It may look like a jumbled up mess in this card of reflection, but you know that the reflection you show the world may look like a jumbled up mess to other people, but if people looked closely at you, looked carefully at you, they would actually see a beautiful, healthy oak tree in this picture. And it's about the time that we understand that we are only reflecting to ourselves that which we have already been showing ourselves. Now it's manifesting into form. Why are we going through this? Because it's time to let go. It's time to let go of that old self. It's time to hold a funeral for that self we no longer want to have anymore. And you know my box ritual? I think you've been here long enough to know my box ritual. But in case you don't, go get yourself a cardboard box. And I want you to write in this box, on this box, whatever you feel you need to do to memorialize that old life of yours that you don't want to have anymore, that you don't ever want to experience anymore. All the doubts, fears, and anxieties you want to be free of and rid of. Everything that you need to let go of and let die in this world. It's time to hold that funeral for this thing so that you can let go of all of that, so that you can finally be ready for what is awaiting you on the other side. And that is rebirth. We must first die. That old spirit must be laid to rest. Then go find yourself a fire pit or somewhere safe you can burn it away and hold yourself an actual funeral for that part of who you used to be. Then I need you to do one very important thing. Mourn it for at least 3 days before you do anything else. At least 3 days. Mourn the loss of what you've just lost. Actually go through the stages of grief. Get to that acceptance part. And then when you've reached that part, now it is time for you to start to move on and move forward. That's why you've been going through this right now. That's why they had to get this forge red hot and put this fire under your ass so you would work on yourself. They are showing you why you need to put your coat of armor back on because you haven't been doing it lately. And what you want to start to see the results to be, you need to start to see in yourself first before it can reflect back to you that which you have needed. And this change that you've been waiting to make, it's time to make the change. That is your reading, Swifty. All right. Shuffle time, shuffle time, shuffle time. Okay, I love it. Very, very helpful and understanding what may be happening. I'm in transition from marriage that is being dissolved to start a new meet people. All of this is very relevant. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm saying. They just want you to finish up what you're doing now. Let's get back to healthy self first before we go seeking anything else. And kind of deal with some of these issues and that's what we need to let go of. That's what we need to let go and die and bury. It's that all of that relationship, as beautiful it is, was, you still celebrate the life that it was, but you don't hang on to it anymore. You let it go and mourn it because it has ended. It is done. We need to mourn that loss. If we mourn that loss appropriately, we will be able to move on. We will be able to go out there, meet new people, and do new things. So I think you're well on your way to that. And I think you've known that for a while. So now is the time to change and become someone you've always wanted yourself to be. Make your path your own. Decide your own fate. Carve your own damn destiny already. Alrighty, let's see here. So, I really appreciate you being here, Swiftix, and thank you for coming on in every single time and showing us a lot of love. And I appreciate that so much for you being here and being a part of my stream and being one of my VIPs and being just anybody out there who comes here to help me be a little bit better streamer than I was yesterday. And I see a lot of fun people on right now, but I'm going to kind of give it a little bit longer before I go raiding out anywhere. Because I'm not really ready yet, so we'll see. I'm not getting the I feel like I need to stop yet kind of a thing, so we'll keep going for a little bit longer here. Once we see some beautiful things going on here that I really, really appreciate. That's something that I think that I really need you to go. Oh, Marshy, are you still here? I do want to shout someone out, though. I want you to go give this young lady a follow today, guys. Her name is Lady Cleo Cabaret, and she is one of the most positively minded people. If you want to know more about your sexual health and talking about something that is a lot more beneficial for you and your sexual health and your good health for you, just wanted you to know that we will probably go seeing her later unless I see somebody else on. But go give her a like and a follow, guys. She is a very safe space. She is talking today about demand avoidance, when we demand to avoid certain things. And welcome in, Lone Wolf. How are we doing today, first time chatter? Welcome on in. Hi, how are you? My name is Joshua Bleasy. I am the Unknown Prophet. I'm here to do daily tarot readings with my homemade custom deck, the 5 Paths Tarot. This is how it works here, my friend. I'm going to ask you to pick some numbers. And first, I want you to pick a number 1 through 10. That's how many times I shuffle the deck for you. Then I'm going to ask you to pick a second number 1 through 52. And that's where the answers that you are seeking in your life will be. Now, these are very intense, in-your-face kind of tarot readings. I do not sugarcoat anything. So if you're looking to get your spiritual butt kicked, you've come to the right place. If not, you might want to seek out another tarot reader. Other than that, I will let you know anything else along the way. If you have a question you would like answered today, please let me know that in the chat, and please make it one question if at all possible. But I understand if you have to tell me something so that I get what you want to know. All right? And then the most important thing, I just want you to know I'm going to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to know. All right? So, when you are ready, give me your numbers and whatever. If you want a general reading, just a general reading, just say general. Or if you have a question, whichever one you want, let me know where we're going here. And then pick me your numbers. Five and 10. Okay, thank you. Do you want a general reading then? Just looking for that answer before I move forward. But we'll get to doing your shuffles here. Here are your 5 official shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Here are your 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 10th card is on top. Your general reading for today starts now. Well, that's interesting. Whew. Ready to get your spiritual butt kicked today? Huh? There, Loney Woofy? Well, guys, there are a couple of moments in your life you wait for and you hope for. That one more moment that someone like you will come into their chat and get this card during this time. Because you've called yourself Lone Wolf, I want to point out you have my Blue Wolf card in my deck. Just to let you know. We're going to get there, though. So, what do you need to know that you absolutely need to know right now, my friend? So, right now, what we've been currently working on right now is trying to melt this icy exterior, this defensive posture that we've been kind of putting out a little bit lately. The daggers aren't very big quite yet, so we need to start to consider melting away some of these things that we are doing to kind of protect ourselves from the hurt and the harm. Reminding ourselves that it's always about what we are doing and growing on the inside, that sometimes we can get kind of stagnant and afraid of hurt or change or whatever thing that we are not ready to face, that we know we had to face one way or the other one day. So we put out these daggers of protection. Now we think they're there protecting us when they're keeping everyone and everything away. Maybe Lone Wolf has been lone wolf long enough, and we need to melt that icy exterior and start to search for something better going forward. And I kind of feel like that's what you've been working on right now. You've been the lone wolf for a while. We know what that journey means, but we know that I have to start to grow in new and different ways. I'm wondering how I do that. Now we are seeking out that guidance. We are trying to find out how we do that the best way. Right now, in your life, you're trying to give this much information to the world. I'm showing you only my eyes. And if I only gave you this much information about who I was, and you didn't get to see the rest of me, would that be enough for you to make a good conscious choice to want to be here today? That the image that you are putting out there, people are only getting a small little piece of it. Maybe it's time to break that image apart from that lone wolf being the only image you've ever given anyone ever to see, and break that apart so that we can start to see the whole mirror, the real reflection of who we truly are completely inside and out. And that may very well still be the lone wolf. That may very well still be that part of who you are. But maybe it's time to stop just showing this much of you and start to show that you are that leader in that pack, that follower in that pack, or maybe you're just a part of the pack. And then we get to the future card, which I'm almost giggly and laughing about very, very hard right now, at least inside my head, okay? Because this is my father's card, and he's called the Blue Wolf for a very specific reason. So it's story time. My father was a very irresponsible young man. When I was growing up, he had a very sheltered life. When he became 18, he went wild. He went crazy. He was made to form a certain box kind of a thing. He didn't fit in the box. He said, I'm out of this box. In no uncertain terms, it's time to go out there and find my own. He played lone wolf for a long, long time. Then he finally met my mother, and they got married. Had a nice, healthy relationship for a while, but he could never find what he needed inside of himself. He was a very angry man who held in his emotions a lot in the very beginning of what I remember as a father figure, okay? He did end up divorcing my mom. Before I even remember what happened, they were already apart, okay? My father was not there for most of my childhood, up to the age of about 25 to 30. 25, okay? Because I distanced myself from him because of some of the things he did. And some of the things he did was he went out trying to find ways to fix himself with relationships. He would go out and try to fix himself by marrying the right kind of person who could help fix him, okay? And he had to go out there and he found someone he thought he could be a part of someone else's pack. My mom wasn't the one that was the right fit. He went to go find out something new and different. Spent some time there, learned a lesson, found out that wasn't the right one for him either. Then we get to the next one. The third one, the third marriage that he was on. And this one brought me and my father back together again. It starts the journey of him becoming the man he will become somewhere in the future. Because now he's a more emotional man, willing to be able to share what his thoughts and feelings were, to be able to have that honest conversation, to be able to finally hammer out this father-son relationship in which we had. And it took us a long time to do that. And then he didn't feel like that was the right marriage for him either. He played lone wolf for a long, long time before he eventually remarried my birth mother again, because they fell back in love after being apart for so long. They fell back in love, and he stayed married to her up till her death. And he said that would be the last time I would ever get married, he said. So today, I want you to start to howl at the moon for your one true family. Halloo! How, hello, and call out with that wolf's voice of yours. When you need them, they will come to your aid. You don't have to be the follower of this pack, the leader of this pack. Just be a part of this pack and allow yourself to walk in those healthy blue emotions in your life yet again. And remind yourself that you can change and become the kind of man you always hoped you would be. And now we have the most healthy father-son relationship that we have had in a long, long time now. Pretty much since my mom and dad got married, we've had a pretty good relationship. So if there's a father figure in your life that could give you some advice about your future, doesn't necessarily have to be your dad, but someone you look up to, that's what you should seek out today for your future. But I want you to know that the reason you're going through all of this right now, Lone Wolf, is because you are more put together than people want to give you credit for sometimes. And even yourself does this to you. We are like the grand elder. We have standed the test of time. We have standed the test of who we were as people. And we knew that we could make it through these moments where we were frozen in fear, and we have gotten past those because now we know we need to grow. We know what our image is, and we know how we want to start showing a better reflection of who that is. It's time to howl at that moon, use all of our emotions, and call out to our pack to come back to us, so that we can finally realize that we have been more put together than we have ever been put together in our lives. But don't think the growth stops here, because if you don't lose your leaves every year and change and grow in a little bit every single year, you will die. So you have to keep your grand elder tree healthy and make sure it continues to grow, even though it has endured a lot. And that is your general reading today, Lone Wolf. And you got to pick the numbers, you got to pick the shuffles. So, and you saw me do it all on cam, and I'm not one of those trick card people. I don't even know how to do any of that. But that was your reading for today, Lone Wolf. And if you have any other questions about your reading or something else you want to know, because I'm kind of feeling like you have another question you wanted to ask too. I told you these weren't a sugar-coating kind of tarot reading here. But I do have something from what I feel is like your higher power or guides or something like that for you as well that they wanted you to know. I want to know, make sure you're okay with me telling you that. Because maybe you like to communicate with your higher powers on your own. Okay? I always give people choices. If you don't have any further questions, say thank you, what you've done already, and I really thank you for being here. I hope that was a reading that helped you in some way, shape, or form. Remember, no matter what I've told you here today, you have the right and responsibility to go live the life you want to live. So go live the best day ever, starting today by simply saying that today is the start of my best day ever. And howl at that moon, howl at that moon. When you are ready for it, they will come to you. Itchy nose. Sure. Like I said, I knew you had another question. I don't need cards for this. Go ahead and ask. So we're giving them some time to typey. While I go get my braid ready to go show some love to, let's see, are they on today? Yep, they're on today. Oh, do we go to I think we're going to send you to this lady here, but I'm going to go say hi to my friend Michael at the same time. But I rated him like 3 times this week. So I think I need to go show somebody else some love. And she's a beautiful, beautiful woman who has a very positive stream. So whenever you're ready, I know you're typing here, so I'm just waiting for it to finish typing and stuff like that. So your fullest potential, right? So if you're really ready for that, and you're really ready for that kind of change, it's time for you to let go of the lone wolf and become the wolf. No longer do you need to be a lone wolf anymore. And it's time to start to look for that family. You need to make it. You need to make this family. This is a family of choice. This is not a family of that chooses you. It's you who needs to start to build their pack. That's what you need to do. You don't have to be the leader of this pack or the follower of this pack. But if you really want to untap your full potential, it's time to start to consider that we have some work left to do. And that means challenging ourselves into becoming something new and different. And moving that lone wolf into being something different. Something that really represents who we are now or who we want ourselves to be. I call myself the unknown prophet because it's a promise. It's a promise to myself. It's a promise to myself that I will look at the unknown possibilities of everything that I can ever be or ever will be. That I live in the dream, that I am the one who carves the destiny, that I am the one who manifests it into being. I am the one who can travel through time and space, help all those in need of help, striving to put right what once went wrong in hopes that one day I can go home. And that's what I'm about. Now it's your turn to ask yourself your questions. What is it I actually want with my life? Now, can I see myself becoming that? Once I see that in my head as a possibility, I'm setting that place down in the future. And now, how long does it take me to get there? Well, that's up to you, Lone Wolf. So, you want your life to be your full potential? You're ready to finally it to begin? It's time to howl at the moon for that family. That is what they wanted me to tell you. And that, my friends, I think will conclude readings for today, at least card readings. Oh, and your guides want me to let you know that the dinging sound you keep hearing every once in a while, when you kind of hear like a bell or a jing or ding or ding, it sounds more like a ding than a jing. Like, ding, ding, ding. And every once in a while, are you hearing this sound? I'm hearing right ear, left ear, more than right ear. Does this make sense to you? Let me know. If it doesn't make any sense to you, forget what I said. You're very welcome. Yeah, that's your guides telling you you're on the right track, especially when you're starting to consider to do new, different things. My right ear, yeah, right ear. That's their signal to you, telling you you're on the right path. You're going the right direction. That will lead you to what you want. That's your cue to know you're doing something right. It's kind of like the ding ding, when you complete a level, only you get a ding. Fries ready. Ding, fries ready. Okay, I hope you get that. So whenever you are in these situations where you're starting to make good, positive choices, and you hear this ding, that's them saying, thank you, you've got the message. Okay? And that's all I've got for you today, Loney. Well, guys, it has come to that time where we are going to go spread my love to somebody else. We're going to go find this beautiful woman. Once again, I'm going to shout her out one more time. Like I said, she is a vibe and a half. I love her so much. I love my friend Michael a lot. But every once in a while, I've got to go shout. And I want a song today. She's going to sing me a song. So stick around for my song. Just give her 5 to 10 minutes of your time. That's all I'm asking as we raid out for today. And I really do appreciate everybody who's been here today and been a part of my stream. I really want to thank you for being here and supporting me by just showing up. I do these for free because it is my spiritual mission to help you guys find the best path ever. So remember, no matter what I've told you here today, you have the right and responsibility to go live the life you want to live. So go live the best day ever starting today by simply saying that today will be my best day ever. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. So I love you, and I hopefully you will come along with me for the ride, and we will go find this beautiful, wonderful person, and we're going to start to raid her right now. And then by the time you see my screen, we'll be on our way. So, here we go. See you tomorrow, guys.